The Miami Dolphins are coming off a bye and a victory in Week 11 over the Washington Commanders, and now they get to host New Orleans Saints, who lost to my Atlanta Falcons in Week 12. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan. We're going to break down this game and provide our predictions at the end, so be sure to stay tuned. Leave a comment, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, get notified when new videos come out. We're trying to get to 100 new subscribers this week, and let's see if we can do it in this video alone. And Ryan, Miami, they still have a shot to the playoffs here, sitting at 4-7. The Saints fell to my Atlanta Falcons here, and they somehow still are not eliminated from the playoffs at 2-9. But also, so are the Tennessee Titans, who are 1-10, which is actually kind of wild. I know that's the AFC, but that's totally separate. But tough game for New Orleans here. I think we just matched up well, especially too with Divine Diablo coming back. We've got a very fast, quick, powerful front seven. I think we benefited a little bit from Alvin Kamara getting hurt as well too. Luckily for the Saints, not as major as it could have been from what the initial reports are coming out as. So hopefully he's not out for too long. If he is out at all potentially, but I'd put that in there for this game because that's something we'll need to monitor throughout the rest of the week as we're recording this on Monday night here. But going up against Miami, who I think has been playing better. It's kind of interesting how it's almost like the team seemed to relax a little bit more once when you're like, hey, we're not going to make the playoffs here, so let's just go out and play. Let's go have some fun. Let's go and also try and protect our jobs for next year. Put good film out there, and then things seem to not be nearly as horrible as it could be. But that all being said, though, it's still a struggling football team, especially after they're traded away Jalen Phillips as well too. This is going to be one of those games. It's going to be fun for us to watch because now this is like what we do in our spare time is then like analyze these teams and figure out what is going to be what they're going to try and do in the offseason. So Ryan, kind of throw it over to you here. What do you like about both of these teams, or what do both these teams need to do to win the game? And then second question, what do you think that both teams need to address the most this offseason?
So the Dolphins, let's talk about this game first, and then I'll answer second part of that second. So for this game specifically, I think if the Dolphins can spread the ball around and not turn it over, I think that's really going to benefit them. Tyler Shough is still a rookie. You can still kind of see him like processing and thinking at times. He actually has been better than I expected, but I still think you can take advantage of some of the rookie mistakes there. I think you can get after him a little bit. And really, after they traded Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave is really the only option. And so if you can take away that first read for Tyler Shough, I think that's going to be the best for them. And then on the offensive side of the ball, get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, whether that's not Javon Holland, Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane, and see
Malik
if you can.
Washington.
Yeah, Malik Washington, and see if they can create for you. Neither of these offenses are like super explosive on a consistent basis. I would say the Dolphins have like the bigger explosive play threats, especially with Alvin Kamara out in this lineup. But they definitely can hit big plays on you. So for me, I think with the Dolphins, take away Tyler Shough's first read. If I'm the Dolphins on offense, just try not to turn the ball over and give them some easy opportunity for points. And I think that helps them out. As far as building going forward, I don't know if Tyler Shough is the answer. I mean, the people in the building will know better than me, but if you're going to be picking in the top 5 in this class, maybe you go like the route of best player available, and then you run it back with them for one more year, and then you dip into the 2027 quarterback class. But from there, I think adding another edge rusher for the Saints is going to be something that's really important. Shoring up parts of that offensive line is also going to be important. And then, that you traded away your second wide receiver, getting another pass catching option there, whether that's a Kenyon Sadiq or, Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson, depending on where you are in the draft. I think that would be something that is important there. And for the Dolphins, I still think this offensive line is an issue. They drafted Jonas Savaiinaea in the top 40 this past season, and he has not been super great as a rookie. He has gotten better. To be fair, Patrick Paul has looked pretty decent at left tackle for them as well, but that whole right side of the offensive line needs to be addressed. I think a larger X style wide receiver is something that they definitely need as well, because they have Malik Washington. Tyreek Hill still technically under contract, even though I don't know if he'll be there after this past year. And then Jalen Waddle as well. So I think getting another boundary receiver or another player that I actually would like that I mentioned for the Saints, Kenyon Sadiq, I think would be really interesting in this Mike McDaniel offense. And then pretty much everything on defense is an issue for the Dolphins right now.
Yeah.
They have no pass rush. They have no corners that can cover. The linebackers stink. And yeah, their safety room is not that great. So pretty much everything on the defensive side of the ball for the Dolphins is going to need to be addressed this offseason.
Yeah, yeah, no. So that's what I think another thing then too as well, and I don't know if you touched on this because there's a lot of good stuff on Miami. Even though I like you say a lot of good stuff on Miami, you essentially said the whole team needs to be upgraded. But I think another thing too,
Yeah.
I don't know if you said quarterback. I do think quarterback is a legitimate spot here. I know Tua is under contract, but we've seen teams though be like, well, one will cut him maybe dead money just for this 1 year. We're not expecting to be good anyways. If there's a guy that they can go in there, it all depends, I think, on where they're at. If there's a guy that I think they like that falls in their lap, if they're within the top 5 or 6 as well too, they're going to need to lose a couple more games. And this is a game they could definitely win. And so need to see where they end up falling in there, and who comes out. But we'll have to kind of wait and see who the head coach is going to be. But I think for Miami, I think quarterback is another legitimate option. I think that they could go after because Tua is just not the guy. It's just he doesn't have the arm
Yeah.
strength for it. It's I think he's also whichever new GM comes in is going to be like, look, we got to have an honest conversation about this right here and be like, Tua seems like a great guy, but at the same time, though, too, I came in to come and do a job as well,
Yeah.
and so I think it's just that time. For the Saints, to me, as of right now in Tankathon, they're the number 3 overall pick, and it's not like this class is super great, so we'll need to go and see like maybe if Arvell Reese is there, or they also could trade back and get a lot of picks depending on which if a quarterback is there too, so they could get some more there. But I'm definitely in the heavy camp of getting another weapon, like going get a Jordan Tyson. Or some of their maybe even to a Carnell Tate. I think a Carnell Tate and a Kellen Moore offense, and then you Chris Olave on the other side, I think would be very interesting. But to your point though, too, it's like I think you kind of got to see some more with Tyler Shuck. Not horrible, honestly, even against the Falcons game, 30 for 43, 243 yards. He did throw a pick, but once again, too, he really just has the one read. Alvin Kamara went down halfway through the game as well, too. So that's a big check down guy that they're missing.
Mhm.
And also, too, if I'm not mistaken, who's the other guy that they drafted a couple years ago? He's hurt. The other running back,
Oh,
Andre Miller.
Andre Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been out for a while, though.
Oh, exactly. So but I'm talking about just another guy that they've drafted who's been out that they can't really lean on nearly as much. But those are, I think, for me, I think the two routes that are both in play. Now, for the Dolphins, real quick, if the quarterback's not in play, I agree with you. Best player available. Just improve this team.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me with the Tua conversation uh is just the money. I know the Falcons went out and did that, and even then it's like Kirk Cousins is still on that roster because of the contract that they gave him. And so for me it's like I think that other organizations, especially for 1 year, I think they might just be like, all right, well, we'll just play it out with Tua
Well,
this year and then address it in the draft next year.
it's so but so here's the thing though with that. Even if it's with Tua, you can still draft a quarterback and then just have him sit for a
Yeah.
year, and then maybe still get the best of both worlds. But not like, hey, Tua, this is like your swan song season, or if you get another concussion, like we're just going to put this kid in here and let him learn. Uh, but I think also too, you got to think about where the Falcons are at now with keeping him on the roster going into this year versus where the Dolphins are going to be at
Yeah. No, I
going
100%
into
agree.
the Falcons. Were like, hey, we're going for the playoffs, and we're not going to make it again, but Kirk Cousins had a lot more money. Well, no, I think it'd be about the same amount of money. But the Dolphins would
Yeah.
be making this move though, going like, no, we're going in for a rebuild. You know,
Yeah.
we couldn't get rid of Cousins at the time. There wasn't too many other suitors who'd want to take that contract. But at the same time, the Tua, I don't think they would care if there's a suitor or not. They would just cut him and take the dead money because it's gone. It's gone after 2026, or I think
Yeah.
mostly gone, if I'm not
It's
mistaken.
mostly gone. I think there's like 10 or 15 million left on the books, but
That's nothing. Yeah.
uh for me, I think if you're going to just cut him outright, I think you just keep him on the team and
I,
play him.
Yeah, but so that still keeps the quarterback option in play. So I just want we're talking about this, and so I'll get back into like kind of my keys for the game here, and why I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think for me with the Dolphins, they just have the speed. And when I go look at this Falcons game, we have a lot of speed on our end as well too. And I just think that's where there's just going to be some overmatch as well. We're gonna have to check to see if
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara is going to go and play, but you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's uh, really outside of Chris Olave, not too much that Tyler Shuck can do. I think there has been some impressiveness from there, but I think offensively the Dolphins are going to have too much speed, and I think are going to be able to move the ball against them, and they're going to be a little more well rested coming off this bye.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think the Dolphins, they're a little bit of a better team right now. And they technically have an outside shot at the playoffs, but not really. And so for me, I think looking at this game, I think there's a little bit more for the Dolphins to play for. I think they're the slightly better team. And then overall, I think Tyler Shuck is just going to make a critical mistake here or there that's going to give the Dolphins the opportunity to go and score some points. And then also on top of that, Kellen Moore is in my opinion, one of the better offensive minds in the league. Mike McDaniel is still still a good offensive coordinator. I know that's odd to say about your head coach, but like he's still very good at scheming up plays and finding mismatches and stuff. So I think that is something that through the Dolphin struggles that people have kind of forgotten about is that McDaniel is still a good offensive coordinator.
Yes, good offensive
Yeah,
coordinator.
yeah. I think, and I use that word very intentionally.
Yes, and I agreed very intentionally.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but no, it's no disrespect to him or whatnot. He's made. I had to credit. But credit to him though. He's made some really fun Miami Dolphins offenses a couple
Oh
years
yeah,
ago. I think it's just run its course.
yeah. No, I 100% agree. Trends go in and out of fashion. So I think this might be his last season as the head coach, but we will find out. But for now, let's go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Saints? Will it be the Dolphins? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.